days. They could play around at the Fire Lake Golf Course and we could hit the Grand Spa.
Yes, and then we could eat at the Brazilian Steakhouse Flame.
Hey, these dudes in the NFL nowadays are unbelievable.
It's football feedback and Bud Light Game Time on the road.
You guys are on?
For the second time in his 3 years at Oklahoma, Brent Venables watched his team getting totally embarrassed by Texas. The Longhorns 34, Oklahoma 3. Al Eschbach and Jim Traber here at the Cotton Bowl in Texas as we watched an inept Oklahoma offense totally embarrassed by the number one ranked Texas Longhorn. Jim, don't know where to start. We'll start with this offensive line might be one of the worst I've seen at OU ever.
Well, the first thing I want to do is I'd like to give a little bit of credit to Seth Luttrell. He tried today. He ran some things that they had not run. The problem is that the plays that they tried to run, their offensive block cannot sustain, and the offensive line cannot sustain blocks. So every time they ran one of those little delays that I really liked, they couldn't block anybody. It worked a little bit in the very beginning, and then Texas adjusted to it. And then after that, I just thought they went back into the funk. But their offensive line is so bad. It's incredible, Al. It really is.
And give credit to Texas is pretty good.
Texas is really good.
There
is no doubt.
OU, they dominate the first quarter of the game, only have a 3-0 lead, and then Texas just totally took over.
Well, and Ewer started off terrible.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he made 2 terrible throws, and both of them were wide open. And, but they just kept coming back, and OU couldn't make them pay for it, Al. When you get the field position was in OU's
first quarter,
and
you only got 3 points.
And you only get 3 points. And frankly, the offensive line just can't block anybody. They're not any good. And remember, we talked before the game that we asked George Stoya, is this the offensive line that they said that they were going to have? Is this it? Are they healthy now? And he said yes. And that shows you they're not any good.
And then in the second half, he tried. They put a switch Sexton to tackle in the Ozark kid.
Put him
at guard. But that didn't.
Didn't make a lot of difference.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of difference. I mean, it didn't make a lot of difference at all.
Hawkins is going to be sore person.
My God, he's going to be sore.
He got hit.
He got
crazy.
beat up big time in this game. I mean, totally beat up. And the receivers couldn't get open. I mean,
no,
it's
bad.
It's bad.
I don't know how it's going to get any better. We talked all week long, Al. A couple of things we said. How was OU going to score? Well, we were right on the money. They couldn't score. The other thing we said, how can it get better? I think the answer to that, I don't know if there is an answer.
I don't know if there is an answer either.
I just don't know. I mean, like I said, I thought Seth Luttrell tried today. I did. I thought he tried. He came in with some different things. I'm going to give him credit. But when you have an offensive line like that, I don't think it matters. I had a couple people texting me going, well, okay, why won't they put Arnold back in? Or maybe you give Charles Thompson a shot because he played in this game. You could have put Elway in the game, okay? They can't block anybody.
They can't block anybody.
And Texas is good. They're really good.
Yeah, they got after it. I mean, and Sarkisian's just done a great job with the program. I mean, it's not a good sign for Brent Venables against Texas in these 2 of the first 3 years. I tell you, it's not.
No, you're right. It is not a good sign.
Got to get this thing fixed.
Got to figure it out. You better hit that portal. By the way, they're lucky. OU's lucky they have a portal.
No, you're right.
If they didn't have a portal, what the heck would they do?
Yep.
But they have got to get some offensive linemen, man. They have to do it. And I don't want to hear that these are good players. They're not. Sorry. I mean, maybe a couple of them are. I don't know. But next year, they need to have at least 4 new offensive linemen. Yeah. And like I said, those 2 big freshmen coming in, I really would like to see one of them start. I mean, what do you got to lose? Whichever one is better, you start them at tackle. And then whoever's the best offensive lineman you've had so far this year, you continue to play him if they're coming back.
You can't get any worse than they are.
No.
You can't.
They are they're terrible. They really are. They're bad.
And it's not going to be now. Oklahoma's not going to face a defense like this the rest of the season, but South Carolina's pretty good on defense.
They're up. Their line.
I
Their
mean,
defensive line
yeah.
is really good.
So,
really good.
You joined the big boy conference, and of course Tech's joined the big boy conference. Tech says we're better than any of these other guys. That's what Tech's saying right now.
That's what they are saying.
We're in the SEC. See if you can beat us, guys.
Yep. No, you're right.
We'll see. They play Georgia next weekend in Austin. I'll tell you right now, I'm picking Texas.
Well, the way Georgia has played, you would definitely think that.
But of course, the game's in Austin. If it was in Georgia, I'd pick Georgia. But after Ewers got and Sarkisian, and I tell you, Ewers had all day to throw the ball.
Yeah,
that's
did.
another thing. The defense played real good first one, but he had time all day to throw the ball.
Al, I'm 100% with you. And like I said, I thought Ewers started off horrible. I mean, he had two dudes open. One of them was for a touchdown. He way underthrew the ball. Then he had a guy in the middle of the field. He got the interception he threw over his head.
You shut their run game down totally in the first quarter.
In the first quarter, no.
That didn't have a first down in the first quarter.
Hey, OU's defense came to play. But after a while,
you're worn out.
What are you going to do? You just keep getting beat up, right? You just keep beat up. That's what happened.
So, it is.
Wait till you hear the statistics when Matt brings them. In the third quarter, I mean, when we were starting the fourth quarter, Matty, I was reading off the stats to Al in the press box. All he could do was laugh. I mean, at that point, the quarterback had 50 yards of passing. 50 yards. And I think he had thrown 10 passes. So, Matt, why don't we go ahead and – because these are going to be horrible. These statistics are absolutely horrible, unless you're a Texas fan. What do you got, Matty?
Okay, for Texas, Quinn Ewers, 20 of 29 for 199, threw a touchdown, threw an interception. They tried the halfback pass twice, or the receiver pass, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
Golden was 1 of 2 for 30 yards. He completed the second one. Quintrevion Wisner, 13 carries for 118 yards and a score. Jaden Blue carried it 10 times for 30 yards. Ryan Wingo, 1 carry for 25. Gunnar Helm, the big tight end.
By the way, before you go any further, I just want to bring this up. They're the favorite, number 1 in the country. They threw 2 wide receiver passes, and they gave a reverse to the Wingo kid, right? Matt Meyer, correct?
I believe that's right.
Yeah, okay. I just want to throw that in there. Just let people know, even when you're the favorite. Just telling you, it's pretty impressive. Keep going. I'm sorry, Matt.
Gunnar Helm, the tight end, 5 catches, 91 yards in the score. Wingo had 2 catches for 49. DeAndre Moore had 3 receptions, 25 yards. Golden had 1 catch for 23. Blue had 3 catches for 18. Wisner, 4 catches for 12. Isaiah Bond had 1 catch for 5 and left the game with an injury. Let's see. Oklahoma, individually, Michael Hawkins, 19 of 30 for 147 yards. A lot of that came late.
All of it came late.
Yeah.
90 yards of it. Almost 100 yards
they only
of it.
threw 10 passes.
You're right. No, you're right. They only threw 10 passes, which, of course, makes no sense at all.
Javonte Barnes, 14 carries for 38 yards. Hawkins ran it 20 times for 27. Not all those
What were the
runs
sacks?
either.
Can you give us the sacks? I just want to know how many yards he actually ran for. Do you have the actual stats, Mac?
I don't have defensive stats yet.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
right.
Go ahead.
Taylor Tatum, 2 carries for 17 yards. Gavin Sawchuk, 2 carries for 9 yards. Zion Kearney, 4 receptions, 45 yards. Bauer Sharp had 3 catches for 21. Brennan Thompson, 3 for 19. Let's see. Hawkins and Tatum both lost a fumble.
Yeah, that was when the game really changed, when the two back-to-back fumbles.
Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
here's the most misleading stat we may hear all year long. You ready for this? Oklahoma had more first downs than Texas today.
You know, it's crazy because when we were giving out stats earlier, it was 10-10.
Well, yeah, Texas had all the big plays.
Yeah, that's right.
They got all big plays.
They did. They had big.
They
much
weren't really
bigger
marching
plays.
the ball down the field with big plays.
No.
By the way, it looks like USC just missed a field goal.
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
So Penn State has the ball in their first play of overtime at the 25, and all they'll need to do is kick a field goal to win this game.
Yeah, you don't want to lose yards on this possession.
That's right.
Right now it would be
42.
Yeah.
And the first play of the drive went nowhere. So as of now, they're still, they're in field goal range, but it'd be a long one. Third down, Texas 5 of 13, Oklahoma 4 of 15. Sooners were 1 of 2 on fourth down. Texas 0 of 1. Texas 406 total yards of offense compared to 236 for Oklahoma. Team-wise, rushing the ball, Texas 30 carries, 177 yards. That's almost 6 yards a carry. Oklahoma 39 carries for 89 yards. That's just over 2 yards a carry.
That is so bad.
It's really, really bad. Penalties, Texas 5 for 57, Oklahoma 7 for 49. Sooners lost 2 fumbles. Ewers threw an interception. Another incredibly deceiving stat. Oklahoma won time of possession by more than 4 minutes.
Jeez. And that was towards the end there, too.
Yes.
You know, when Texas got the ball back, they scored, and then OU would go boom, 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 and at the punt.
Well, and also 3 of Texas's scoring drives were set up by either fumble recoveries or the turnover on downs.
How many, Matty? How many 3 and outs did OU have? Is there any way that you can know that? Is that a stat?
We can look that up.
I predicted it was 10 because there were a bunch of them.
No doubt there were a bunch of them. Absolutely a bunch.
And again, the defense. I mean, it's the hottest OU Texas game of all time. The OU defense dominated the first quarter. How can they keep going?
Now,
I mean,
are
the
you
offense
talking about 3 and outs for OU?
For OU's offense.
Well, they only had 1 3 and out, but there
What?
were several. There were several drives where they had 1 first down and then punted.
Oh, really? I could have swore there were more 3 and out. I'm really an idiot.
Well, according to what I'm looking at here, Oklahoma's. I'll give you their drives: 5 plays, missed field goal; 5 plays and punt; 11 plays, made field goal; 5 plays and punt; 5 plays and punt; 2 plays fumble; 1 play fumble. Then the end of the half. 4 plays and punt; 3 and punt. That's the one I see. 8 plays and punt, 4 plays turnover on downs, and then that last drive went to the end of the game.
Well, I was dead wrong on that.
Well, but they had a handful of drives that they picked up 1 first down and then promptly punted.
Penn State wins.
Penn State wins. Lincoln Riley's officially out of the 12-team playoff.
USC now 3-3.
And what? A 1-3 in the pack.
In the maybe
Big
0-3.
They beat Wisconsin.
Oh, you're right. They beat Wisconsin. That's true. Yeah.
1-3.
Tell you what, though, this is a big win for Penn State.
Absolutely. They're in now. They're with their schedule.
They are probably.
But they got Ohio State. That's it.
That's right. Ohio State, I think. Yeah, Ohio State. Did they play? I think they play Indiana. Did we look at that? Did they play Indiana?
They play Ohio State. They do not play Indiana.
Who else? Did they play anybody any good?
They have an off week next week before going to Wisconsin.
Okay.
Then they have the Ohio State game first Saturday in November. They host Washington. They're at Purdue, at Minnesota, home for Maryland.
Well, they're in.
Yeah, they're in.
Yeah, Penn State's in.
It'll be Penn State, Ohio State in the Big Ten championship.
More than likely.
Or
Oregon.
Oregon tonight, yeah.
If Oregon wins, yeah. And that game's coming up here in about 15 minutes or so. Well, I'll bet you Kirk Herbstreit's not real excited to do what he did today. I'm going to fly down for this game.
Well, yeah, and he was in Seattle Thursday night, do that game. Then, last night,
they're much better games. Let me tell you something. Penn State, this guy bringing in that offensive coordinator from Kansas has really made a difference. How many times we see Penn State score 30 points in a game against a good team?
No, you're right. Great point. Yep.
Now, USC, Penn State had over 400 yards in the game.
You know what? And you might be able to answer this better than me. When you bring in a new coordinator, does he change different offensive line schemes?
Oh, yeah. Sure he will.
Okay.
He certainly will. Absolutely will.
So that could be part of the problem?
Absolutely it can. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Now, I will say this. Bedenbaugh's got a lot of power. So I would assume that Bedenbaugh is probably the guy who's calling the schemes and probably would be my guess. But if you bring in an offensive coordinator and you bring in a new offensive line coach too, well, then they're going to have everything different, because they love to do it the way they do.
I would think when Lincoln Riley came in, they changed.
Absolutely, yeah. And then Jeff Lebby too.
Yeah.
And they're probably running some stuff with Lebby that they ran, definitely running some stuff with Lebby. But play calling is a science. You and I talk about it all the time. Play calling is really important. And again, I don't know. I know you get the best play caller in the world to call for this team. If you can't block anybody, it's not going to make a difference.
No, you're absolutely right.
Going into this game, everybody knows I've been blaming the most blame on Seth Luttrell. I'm moving to the offensive line being the worst of the
I'm with you. There's no doubt. I mean, it's tough to call plays because you watch one line, what they're doing, and a quarterback has all day to throw. You watch another line and no time for a quarterback, and it just it's horrible.
No, it's bad. I mean, it really is. I mean, you've been watching this for a long time. I mean, obviously 2 years ago that was a total embarrassment, but you lost your starting quarterback.
If you lose next week to South Carolina, you're going to fret big time about making a bowl game with the schedule you got left.
Wow.
Well, then you still got to go to Missouri. You got to be able to beat out. I don't know if Missouri's any better than Auburn, but if you had lost that game last week, then you'd be.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So it's bad. I mean, you're halfway through the season now, and you got to be really discouraged.
What, Nate? You said that this offensive line. Compare it to something now, would you please? Compare it to something.
Golly, Jim, I probably have to go back.
John Blake years?
John Blake years, but this quarterback better than anything that John Blake had.
Well, there's no doubt about that. Yeah.
So
let me ask you, since you brought that up, give me a grade today for Hawkins.
C.
Yeah, I thought that's about right. I mean, what can he do?
Can't do. Yeah. And
I will say, it looked to me, we got to sit up in the press box where I could see things that were happening. I did think he pulled it down a little bit early.
And then there were a couple times receivers were not open at all.
Oh, no. You're right. There's time where nobody was open.
I mean, it's just like, really?
Yep. Nobody was open. So just bad day.
Good win for Texas. I mean, they got now they're I think just about they're guaranteed in. They can go 10-2 at worst at A&M and Georgia next week. If they win next week, they're 100% in.
Well, they'll probably be the number one seed or have a great chance.
If they get by A&M.
If they get by A&M, yeah. But they're good. And like I said, man, this has worked out perfectly for Texas. They came into this league at the perfect time. Unfortunately for the OU fans, OU came into it at a bad time. So you're going to have to fight, though. You're Oklahoma. You got to get better. You have to get better. Just like
Texas. They were terrible until Sarkisian got here.
No, you're right.
They were terrible.
That's
Look
right.
what coach does.
Sarkisian has turned this thing around. I'll tell you what, too. Boy, he runs a nice offense, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I like the things he does.
Love the things he does.
How about that play where he has the running back go out, and then he comes back in, and then he runs to the other side, and they throw it to him? Was that a beautiful play or what?
Another big play was they scored that touchdown, they fumble it, and they recover.
Right. Well, you're right. That's it. You have to have some luck sometimes when you're good.
But they're just so much better team.
Right. But even if they don't pick that up.
Oh, no. Can't score.
I mean, you and I both looked at each other at halftime and said, this game's over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how was OU? We said before the game, how was OU going to score? How are they going to score 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, no. It was over at halftime.
Yeah. Tell you what, Ben Venables got a lot of work to do. He really does.
A ton of work to do.
And let me tell you, Beatonbow, you don't just become a bad coach. So I'm going to continue to give him credit, but he's got to figure some things out. Because he told people he thought that they were going to be better, and everybody thought, well, unfortunately, Coach, they're worse than people thought.
Yeah,
this offensive line even worse than I thought.
It is. There's no doubt. It's worse. It's horrible.
And they had the 2 weeks, and they were supposedly healthy, and then they took the guy out, right? Tarquin. Is it Tarquin?
Tarquin got taken out.
He got killed. He got obliterated. They took him out. They moved Sexton to tackle, and then they moved that other kid. What's his name, Al? The guard, the freshman guard.
Zena.
Zena, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
And those two played the whole second half.
Yep.
I wonder if they're going to go with that.
Well, you can't. The first half, you can't get any worse.
Yeah. If you stink, try something different. That other freshman, the Louise, what's his name? Pierre Louise?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, try him. See what they can do. Just if you can't block any. You know what this shows? Everybody always talks about quarterbacks and wide receivers and running backs, The offensive line is the key to football.
And look how good Texas is on the offensive
Texas
line.
offensive line is really good. By the way, you did a great job against them in the first quarter.
They did a tremendous job against them. Totally shut them down.
Yeah, they did. Well, anyway, tough one. It is Football Feedback, Bud Light Game Time, driven by Eskridge Lexus. We're live here in the Dobson Fiber Mobile Studios from the State Fair of Texas. I almost said Oklahoma. When we get back, we'll start to take calls, talk a little bit more about this game. We'd love to hear from you, 405-900-9957. 34-3, Texas. We'll be back on the leader in sports, The Animal.
Bud Light, Dobson Fiber. Who engineered the winning drive? Sponsored by Medco, the best source for geotechnical engineering and construction materials testing in Oklahoma. Who engineered the winning drive on WWLS, the sports animal.
And we're back here at the Cotton Bowl. Myself, Al Eschbach, and Jim Traber. Texas kicks Oklahoma 34-3. Who engineered the winning drive? For the first time, I'm going to say nobody.
Well, they didn't score a touchdown.
They didn't score a touchdown. So nobody.
Oh, man.
Engineered the winning drive.
I texted with Cale Gundy. He texted me a little bit. He said that Sark is really, really good at making adjustments, and Brent's got to learn how to do them with him. I think that's interesting. After the first quarter,
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally.
Hey, Sarkisian's impressive. Dean told us that a few years ago.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Had some personal problems at USC.
Yep. That's right. Yeah. I mean, he did. But, it looks like he's turned his life around. Give him credit.
An analyst with Saban.
Yeah.
At Alabama. So a good guy to learn from.
He also says that, and I agree with this. You and I saw this. The poor youngster Hawkins, his eyes aren't down the field. He's so nervous about getting drilled all the time that he right away is taken off. It's I'll tell you this. It's a bad way to start a career with this offensive line for this young man.
Horrible.
Now, he looks like nothing really bothers him.
Yep.
But, man, he's getting killed. Remember
getting battered.
Remember, there's been some quarterbacks, Al, that have gone from – remember the brother of Carr? Remember the older brother? Remember the one? What was it?
Yeah, David.
David Carr. Remember?
David, yeah.
He was great coming out. He was with Leach at Kentucky.
Got beat up.
Got killed with the Browns.
No, he wasn't at Leach.
He was at Fresno State.
Okay,
Fresno
who was the one that was at Kentucky?
Tim Couch.
Couch. That's another one. Was he at Houston? Did he go down to Houston and get
Tim
killed?
Couch. Carr did, yes.
Carr was that's right. I got him mixed up.
Couch went to Cleveland.
Couch was at Cleveland,
Yes.
yeah. And those dudes were good players. And when you get beat up, Al,
look at Baker Mayfield getting beat up.
well, you're right. That's exactly right. It's hard. When you got people coming after you all the time, it's hard to say, okay, I got to go through my progressions, So, look, I'm not here to say that this kid's going to be a superstar yet. I just think he's got some talent. He can really, really run for sure.
And
But
he throws a nice ball.
he does throw a good ball. I agree with you. But I do think there's times where if he just waited 1 second and let the ball go, there might be somebody there. But I'm not going to blame the kid.
And then the receivers. I mean,
You're
again,
right. You're right. No, receivers.
They got to get Burks back, and they got to get Farouk back. I mean, they
definitely need him back. You're right.
So
Totally agree.
want to take phone
By the
calls?
way, I want to give it up to a couple defensive players. I thought that Eli Bowen kid played really well.
He's going to be a good player. He got to be a starting corner here, I think, the rest of the way.
He looks good. He looked good out there. I thought that there was a couple guys on defense that really stood out. There was another one we were talking about. Can't remember, but I'm sure we'll talk about it. But unfortunately, they just
in the one play, and again, what Brent is great defense guy, but sometimes it's late what he does. Remember, he ran Spears Jennings into the game.
Spears Jennings, that was a horrible play. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, Spears Jennings, for whatever reason, ran on the daggone field late, and then he wasn't set, and he missed the tackle for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And he was, I know Brent was screaming at him. Brent was screaming at some people on the sideline.
Well,
Number
don't
20.
send
Who's number
people in
20?
that late.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Remember there was a turnover there, and I don't know if Spears Jennings was over sitting down or what. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. You know?
Yeah, it's hard to see the player in that late.
Yeah, no, you're right. And then he goes and he misses the tackle.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a shame.
Let us get to the telephone. You're on WWLS Sports Animal. Talk to us, please.
This is Don. How you guys doing today?
Good. What's up?
Hey, that was hard to watch. I'm a lifelong Sooner fan. My take on the whole situation from the beginning of the year, I'm pointing the finger at Seth Luttrell. I'm sorry. Michael Hawkins is going to be good. He's going to be good in a running type situation. I still think Jackson Arnold is our quarterback. I think Venables gave up on him too soon. The kid's going to get in the portal. We're going to lose him. I think you need to point the finger at Seth Luttrell. His play calling, I've seen better play calls in a middle school game.
Yeah, I appreciate the call. Like I said, I've been ripping Seth Luttrell the whole year. I think Seth Luttrell tried in the beginning of this game, but when you have an offensive line that can't block you and me, you're not going anywhere.
And they're not going to make another quarterback change.
No.
Jackson Arnold would get killed. I mean, killed with this line.
Yeah. No, I mean it's just no. You can have John Elway. They're not going to do anything with this offensive line.
Absolutely.
It's just terrible.
Absolutely.
And again, as we gave it, Texas is really good.
Yeah, really.
Texas is really good.
Those numbers you talked about defensively, they're really good.
No, you're right. They are.
Georgia's going to have a tough time next week.
That's going to be a great game. It
will
really
be.
is. I think that Texas is they're really good on both sides.
You look at these other teams. You're looking at Alabama, Georgia, the other team. Receivers.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, are so pedestrian right now. But when you lose your 5 top, there's a reason why that
You're
happens.
right. No, you're exactly right. That doesn't help. That Wingo kid is a true freshman for them.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know how good these young kids are going to be here. I don't know. I mean, a couple of them look pretty good. They catch okay, but
there's no wow factor of the freshman receivers.
No, but again, notice they didn't throw the ball. They threw the ball deep one time. They missed it. Yep. And Hawkins had him a little bit. He was a little bit behind, but you got to make a perfect throw. He didn't do it. Yep. And then they didn't throw it down there. Nope. And then you and I were going crazy. They didn't try in the middle of the field at all.
Well, and then the rollout. We said
that was beautiful. That stuff was great.
Yeah.
And then they went away from that stuff. So I don't know. I mean, again, I thought Seth Luttrell, we can rip him. I doubt he's going to be back next year. Probably shouldn't be. But he at least tried today. I give him the credit. He tried. But they're not good. They played a team that's much better than they're not very good.
Let's get back to the phone. Join the animal. Go ahead.
Hey, gentlemen, are you staying hydrated? It's got to be hot down there.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
We got our water.
Okay. Hey, listen, look, I'm not going to push the panic button just yet. He tried some misdirection, some quarterback run. It's the offensive line. Look, I can't keep up with recruiting and stuff. I'm just way too busy. Can you guys go back and give us just a brief history on how we got here with this offensive line?
Yeah, Al will. Sure. Thanks for the call. Go ahead, Al.
Well, Caden Green, who was a 5-star offensive lineman, opted out.
Starting at Missouri now.
Yeah, as just a sophomore and a true sophomore. And he started as a true freshman, Jim. So
that's right. He would be here. They lost him.
So they lost him.
Raym decided to go to the NFL.
Raym decided to go. And then last year they did a great job bringing in Roush and Guyton in the portal.
Right.
They offered really good players this year. They struck out on them.
That's right. And they had to go to their next tier.
Had to go to next tier.
And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. Just like a tight end. You go into your next tier, you go into people that didn't play Power 5 football.
Yeah, and frankly.
And they can't block.
They can't block at all. No, you're right. They cannot block at all. Blaine is telling us that Brent in the press conference said there was never an idea at all of changing quarterback.
Of course there wasn't.
I just want to let people know. I just want to let people know.
Right.
No reason. I thought the guys on television were making too big a deal out of that.
We didn't hear them. Were they saying?
Yeah. Well, they were bringing up the question. Neither one of them said that they should make a change, but they brought up the question, and even Laura Rutledge asked Venables in the halftime interview, are you going to make a change? He said, no, we're going to stick with him. He's doing fine.
You know what, though, Maddie? I will tell you this. Having done color, when a game gets ugly, you talk about everything.
That's right.
I understand that, but this is in the first half.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is in the first, and not
Really?
to mention, the only thing that's going to get Hawkins pulled is if he starts throwing interceptions.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you. Did they, in the first quarter, they go, well, is Texas going to bring an Arch Manning in? When Ewers was bad?
Ewers
Of course
made
not.
two
Okay.
terrible
Yeah.
throws. He did, but they turned it around. And
He's a good player. I'm sort of like Kalen. I don't know if he's a great player. I think he doesn't have mobility. I don't know. I certainly wouldn't want my Giants to draft him.
I mean, look,
He's a good
player.
Yeah.
That's right. He's
a
a good player.
player.
I agree. Is he a superstar?
No, but he's a good player.
The good player, yeah.
You can definitely win.
He'll go higher than he should, just like every quarterback
You're right.
does.
Absolutely right.
You know,
Right,
to me, he's probably a second or third round pick.
Yeah.
He'll probably go in the first round.
no doubt about it.
Because he's a quarterback.
Absolutely. Let's get back to the phone. Join the animal. Go ahead.
Yeah, what stuck out to me was, besides the offensive line and the play calling, the receivers, except for J.J. Hester, their routes were just lazy and not sharp. Did y'all notice that, Annie?
You know, we were sitting up in the press box and we saw a lot of it. I know they couldn't get open. I mean, they couldn't get open. It was the worst of two worlds for OU, because when they did get open, Hawkins was running the ball because he was getting ready to get killed. And then when he did have a little bit of time, they weren't open. So, catch 22, Al, what are you going to do?
Yeah, there's and that does make play calling that much tougher too.
The whole thing is just it's a fiasco is what it is. It's just an absolute fiasco.
It's an offense that has to be totally revamped.
You're right. No, and it's, I'm telling you something, when this season ends, they better early go get themselves an offensive coordinator from somewhere. If I'm Brent Venables, when November starts, I'm doing some research on who I want. We talk about it. The guy at UNLV, the guy at Vanderbilt. I mean, there's about Navy Army. They're throwing. I don't know if people watch, but Navy and Army are now throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Some. So they got to do something different. They have to. And if I will tell you this, the best way for Brent Venables to get fired after next year is to keep Seth Luttrell, and it's still ugly.
You're right.
Am I right?
Yeah. Hey, if they don't get to a bowl game this year,
oh my gosh,
he'll be on the hot seat next year.
Because remember, they had 4 guaranteed wins, and then you have Syracuse.
5 guaranteed wins.
Who's
Throw
the
in
fifth?
Maine.
Yeah, that would be the 4th. Who's the 5th?
The 4 non-conference games.
Right. So
Okay,
that's
I'm
4.
sorry.
Yeah, that's
4.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you would have thought South Carolina at home would have, but you should win that game.
Yeah.
So that's a 5th game. All you have to do is beat one team. You get to a bowl game. If they don't make it to a bowl game, it's a disaster. This will be one of the biggest disasters in forever, because we knew they were terrible back when John Blake was coaching, right? We knew that.
Well, 2 years ago, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, but they went to a bowl game.
No, they didn't. 2 years ago, they lose
7-6, right?
They're losing season.
6-7.
They went to the bowl game.
They went to the bowl. Remember, they lost. Al.
Okay,
They were 6-6.
that's what they had to lose.
That's why it was a losing season. Yeah. But look, I mean, it's not OU football to be excited about being 6-6 and going to a bowl game. But right now,
if you don't even qualify for a bowl game.
Yep. No, you're right.
Yeah,
that would be terrible.
A losing season, Jim. Count on maybe one hand how many coaches have a losing season at OU.
I know it. Yep.
So
it's bad.
It's bad. Let's get back to the phone. Join the animal. Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what's up? Go.
Hey, Jim, Al, I don't know where to even start. I mean, obviously, the coaching was just piss poor the whole way. I mean, we had no game plan. The unpreparedness of the entire offense it's just crazy. I mean, we couldn't. I mean, let me ask you guys a question. How many quarters does it take for us to score a touchdown?
Well, obviously 4 wasn't enough. Yeah, 4 wasn't enough. So, but I'm going to tell you something. I've been beating him up more than anybody else. At least Seth Luttrell tried today. He tried to do things. But I'm going to say it again. If you have plays that take 3 or 4 seconds to develop, your offensive line, if they can't block, the play has no chance, Al.
Why not throw the ball over the middle, quick slants?
Yeah, no slants. Not one slant today. I thought in the beginning he
So
tried.
He did one, and the guy dropped it. Remember?
That's right, they did. And then later they threw kind of a slant, and they caught it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're so messed up right now. It's just, I just don't know. I think you could bring in somebody like a Lincoln Riley and start running some plays, and I don't know how good it's going to be with that offensive line.
They could have Bill Walsh with Tom Brady and Barry Sanders. With this offensive line, it ain't happening,
No,
guys.
they're bad. They're really, really bad.
By the way, how did USC do today?
They lost.
Really?
Yep.
Really? What's their record?
3-2, 3-3,
Really?
3-3. Is it 3-3?
3-3.
3-3.
You think they could win the national championship?
They are certainly not going to. No.
Okay.
And they're not going to get in the tournament either, with 3 losses already.
Just wonder, you keep on looking back with Lincoln. I wonder if Lincoln, you and I talk about this all the time, if Lincoln regrets his decision. But you know what? I don't think he goes there if he knew they're going into the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's something. The only person that will know the answer to that is him.
That's right.
I don't.
And if he tells anybody else, we don't know because he lies a lot.
He does. He's a very good liar.
So
you're exactly correct.
Go ahead and break.
By the way, we got the Oregon and Ohio State going. Some games still going. Who caught this ball? I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, I guess they ruled it for the Ohio State kid because it looked like the Oregon kid took it away.
Yeah.
And Ohio State kept possession of the ball, went down, and scored a touchdown.
Oh, they're already ahead?
Oh, they're already ahead?
Yeah.
Wow.
What I'm saying is that Ohio State, they must have ruled that he had possession of that ball.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
There
about
it is.
that.
Yeah. Well, you know what, though? When they hit the ground and the play was dead, they were kind of both with it. And, offense gets the advantage.
Maybe so. Yeah,
but
maybe
it did
that's what
look
they
like
ruled.
the defensive guy obviously ended up with it.
So I guess Will Howard did pretty good on the first drive.
I just think you know what, Al? I'm telling you,
5-6 for 65 yards.
I'm telling you, Al. I believe that you could possibly play quarterback with that Ohio State team. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of football left.
Offensive line.
Here comes
receivers.
Dylan. Oh yeah, they're amazing. By the way, I guess Green got benched at Missouri today. I'm being told.
Really?
That's what I'm being told. Caden Green got benched.
Boy, he got a ton of NIL.
Yeah, they gave him a lot.
Well, there was a video going around of him. What was it? Just not even trying on one play. This has been, I think it was the A&M game. There was some video going around of him that was not all that flattering. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I saw that on Twitter. It's like, what is he doing?
Maybe he's an attitude guy.
Yeah. Well, he better figure it out. I'm telling you that. Because if he wants to go to the NFL.
Because he can make a lot of money if he's doing what he should be doing.
Exactly. All right, very good. It is Football Feedback, Bud Light Game Time, driven by Eskridge Lexus. We're live in the Dobson Fiber Mobile Studios from the State Fair of Oklahoma, here by Gate 5. If you're listening, come on over. We'd love to see you. We got the football games on out there if you want to watch them, and you can listen to the show. Obviously, a disgusting day for the Sooners. 34.
4-3. The Sooners 4-2, 1-2 in conference play. They will host South Carolina next Saturday, either at 11 or 11:45. Oklahoma State off today. The Cowboys 3-3, 0-3 in conference play. They go to number 14 BYU.
You want me
on
to?
Friday
You don't want me to.
9:15. Tulsa is also off today. They go
I don't
to
want to break the
Hurricane
camera.
2-4, 0-2 in league play. They're at Temple, 1 o'clock on Saturday. Right now, second quarter, Florida leads number 8 Tennessee 3-0. First quarter, number 2 Ohio State leads number 3 Oregon 7-0. No score early, number 9 Ole Miss and number 13 LSU. Games a little bit later, number 11 Iowa State takes on West Virginia at 7 o'clock. 9:15, number 18 K-State is at Colorado. And 10 o'clock tonight, number 17 Boise is at Hawaii. Finals from earlier today, number 11 Notre Dame defeats Stanford 49-7. Number 14 BYU beats Arizona 41-19. And number 5 Georgia gets past Mississippi State 41-31. Elsewhere, overtime, number 4 Penn State beats Southern Cal 33-30. Number 7 Alabama survives against South Carolina 27-25. Number 10 Clemson defeats Wake Forest 49-14. Number 21 Missouri hammers UMass 45-3. Number 22 Pittsburgh beats Cal Berkeley 17-15. And in overtime, number 23 Illinois beats Purdue 50-49.
Broadcasting sponsored by Parish Devon. Official.
Hey, who went the Eskridge Mile here, please?
Visit pepperwinds.com. WWLS FM, The Village, Oklahoma City. The Sports Animal, a Cumulus station.
Who went the Eskridge Mile? Sponsored by Eskridge Honda. Going the Eskridge Mile for you. Eskridge Honda on I-240 or eskridgehonda.com.
Live on The Sports Animal, it's football feedback and Bud Light game time on the road.
You guys are up?
We're back. Myself, Al Eschbach, and Jim Traber here at the Cotton Bowl in Norman, Oklahoma. Gets hammered 34-3 by Texas. Who went the Eskridge Mile? Again, nobody. Oklahoma, 3 points. Can't score a touchdown in the game. Nobody.
Not even a half mile.
Yeah, not even a half mile. You're right about that. So, hey, you think someone is finally going to think that BYU's any good?
I know it. You've been doing this, Al. You're right. They have another really.
All
good
they do
win.
is win, spank people and everything. Oh no, they're not better than Kansas State. They only got beat by Kansas State by 25, but no, they're not as good as Kansas State.
I think that there's a lot of people that just can't believe that they're good, but they are. It's time. It's time to believe it, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be in. Yeah, okay. Arizona's finished now, so we'll see what happens with Kansas State. And what's the score of the Iowa State game?
Oh, it does. It starts at 7.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah. I'd say 0-0 then.
That would be that. Yes.
Okay.
There's not anything up there yet.
So maybe someone's going to finally give BYU a little credit for what they've done thus far this season.
Yeah, I'm in there. I am. You've been ahead of the whole thing. Really?
It just. I mean, they. I don't care what you think that they were going to be before the season. If they beat these people, you can't rank the people they beat over them. You can't.
No, you're right. You've been saying that for years and years. You're right on the money. You can't do it. It's stupid. I don't know why you would. By the way, somebody asked me, Al, on Instagram, is this offense as bad? Or let me put it this way. Did Lincoln Riley have any defenses that were as bad as this offense?
Boy, that's a great question.
Yeah, it is. What do you think?
I'd say yes. Yeah, I'd say yes.
I would
2018. I think.
Yeah, but it's still a good question, though, isn't it, Matty?
I think it's a good question, but the answer is yes.
I don't disagree.
I mean, 2018, guys. Remember, Kansas ran for like 300 some odd yards against Oklahoma, and I heard some and that was after Mike had gotten let go. I heard some really weird stuff about that game. I think it's a good question, but I think the answer is yes. They weren't all that great in 17 either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was the year they played Georgia?
What up, Traber?
I mean,
17.
Okay. And that was the one that Lincoln kicks the squid kick before halftime.
Yeah, that was that hurt them.
But
their offenses were great, and their defenses were bad.
Yeah.
So
now their defense is pretty good, and their offense is just horrific.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what I was thinking, Al, earlier today? I didn't bring it up yet, but I'm going to bring it up now. They're lucky that they're not playing 9 conference games.
No, you're right.
Remember, we kind of wanted 9 conference games. It's a good thing there isn't.
I myself don't think the conference should play 9.
You like 8, huh?
The conference is tough enough. They're gonna screw themselves out of getting somebody in the thing.
Yeah, you're probably right, and that's probably what they're thinking too.
The conference is tough enough now. Why you want to play 9 conference games?
I just like to see play more teams. But what you're saying is right, Al. I'm just doing it for my joy.
Well, next year you got Michigan coming in at Oregon,
which is really stupid.
Yeah.
Not that Michigan.
I guess with Blade, talk to somebody and
they both tried to get out of it. Both of them did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the network said no.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I agree with the network. I mean, if I was a network, I'd say the same thing.
So
now maybe if Michigan gets a quarterback,
but you got 2 coaches that are going to have a lot of heat on them next year.
No, you're
more at Michigan
right.
and Brent.
You're right. No, you're exactly right. Absolutely. Moore is obviously a good dude, and the people love him and everything. But they're going to have to beat some people.
And they're running an antiquated offense. I can't think any of the fans in Michigan are real happy about it.
No, you're right. And they have no quarterback.
Yeah.
Their quarterback is bad. So they're going to have to hit the portal really hard.
Jackson Arnold. How about
maybe.
That?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I know that everybody's down on him, but he's still got talent.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think his life is gone now because he didn't play well.
Yeah. And it's – and I feel Jackson Arnold. Had problems against Temple and Houston. Can you imagine against Auburn in this club?
Well, Al, listen to me. They made the right move. I told you this. The one thing that really bothers me is that he's having some mental issues. Physically, if you make a bad throw here or if you okay. But he was having a hard time in the pocket.
Absolutely,
Al,
he was.
And that's not a good sign for him,
And he's a year more experienced than
exactly.
Hawkins.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, Hawkins looks a lot more poised. Now, I will tell you, Hawkins has been leaving the pocket too early, too. Cale Gundy said it to me just a little while ago. By the way, Oregon just pulled the ball out of the Ohio State's running back's hands, and they are now on the 3-yard line to try to score. Ohio State's got two running backs that a lot of people think are both All-Americans. And the guy just pulled it right out of his hands. So now they're down on the 3-yard line trying to score.
What a great call that there. Here we go right here.
Yep.
So
good run.
Got it there.
Good blocking downfield. So Oregon's trying to tie the game up against Ohio State.
Let's get to the phone. Join the animal. Go ahead.
Hey, Jim, Al.
So,
how you doing?
An observation and a question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Observation. Mike Hawkins is just not as fast as he thinks he is. And the question is, I couldn't tell watching on TV, but were there any OU receivers ever open downfield?
Yeah, I mean, there were some open. It just didn't work out.
And a lot of times there weren't.
No, there were definitely a lot of times that
they got to get receivers back. But again, it's a great excuse. When you have your top 5, I don't know what team would be any good at receiver when your top 5 are out.
I couldn't disagree with you on that.
It's one of the only excuses I can make for this offense.
As far as Hawkins is concerned, he's not getting a lot of time, and he takes off running. And I think your observation is interesting because these athletes that Texas has are really, really good, and he can't outrun them, so he's got to do some different things here and there against the better players, right?
We saw him against Auburn.
He can run.
He's really fast.
I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying that Texas
I know.
Texas had 2 spies on him times, Al. Two spies.
I agree with that.
By the way, look at this. Ohio State's trying to return the 2-point. Oh, my gosh. They messed up the snap. Okay, they're going to stop it. So it's going to be 7-6. They did not get the extra point. So 7-6. But no. Listen, he can really run. I'm just saying the way Texas played him, I think, is the way a lot of people are. When wide receivers can't get open and your offensive line can't block.
And you spy on them.
Yeah, they were spying him everywhere. Whenever he ran, there were people hitting him.
Absolutely. And that's good defensive coordinator.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
Nope, you're right. You're right.
Really good.
You're right.
Let us get back to the telephones. You're up on the animal. Go ahead.
Yeah, is it me?
Yes.
Yep. Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call. I've been a Sooner fan all my life, and I love my OU Sooners, and I'll never be a fair weather fan. But as I turn on my dad voice to the Sooner and everything, I'll say that we have known ever since we announced our intentions to join the SEC in 2021 that our team needed to raise the bar on both offense and defense to become a complete team. This year's strength of schedule has proven to be tougher than other SEC teams, and I feel that we're kind of in a perfect storm of bad management, like you said, out of the transfer portal, injuries, and, you know, our starting quarterback at the beginning of the year playing JV football. We really do need to have a come to Jesus moment to accept our mistakes and find those solutions, because I don't want to have a post-Switzer 90s decade before we find any improvement, and that's all I want to say.
Oh, that's fair. I mean,
what did he? Can you tell me what he just said?
Doesn't want a post-Switzer decade, you know, of going through 3 coaches that they wound up Gary Gibbs and Snellenberger and Blake and then Stoops. I mean, there's going to be pressure on. Hey, no matter what you say, no one can tell me that when Brent got hired, that you knew he's going to be a great head coach.
No,
nobody knew that.
You never know.
You never know.
No, there's coordinators all over the place that do well.
And I'm not saying he can't be, but the results got to get better.
I couldn't agree with you more. Listen, what Brent Venables has done, Al, is that he really has turned this defense into a legitimate defense, right?
Yeah.
They have. He's done a nice job, okay, which has been really hard at OU because they've been terrible on defense. But the offensive side of the ball has got to figure out a way to get better. And Levy did a decent job last year. We liked him. I thought he had a lot of nice plays and things like that. But he gets a head coaching job, and he made a mistake by hiring Seth Luttrell. That's what it looks like, at least, right? Yep. So you got to go looking for an offensive coordinator. That's what you got to do. And you know, who was it? Thank God, I heard a defensive coach. I can't remember who it was. Somebody was asking a defensive coach, what do? Do you put your head in the offense? And he goes, no. I let my offensive guy do it. And, it was Cale Gundy today. That's what it was. Yeah, he said Bob didn't do it. And then he said that he heard that maybe Brent's doing it a little bit. You got to find a dude that you have confidence in. If Brent Venables is actually going into the offensive meetings and kind of saying some things, that's a bad sign because he's letting everybody know he doesn't have confidence out.
Totally agree.
So they got to, I mean, it's too late now for it. Although I wouldn't mind if they said Joe John Finley's going to call a couple plays. I mean, you might want to at least try it. But anyway, it's not good. It's not
Great
good.
song by Carole King.
Which one?
It's Too Late.
It's Too Late. Hey, great song.
Let us get back to the telephones. You're up on WWLS Sports Animal. Go ahead.
Hey, Al. Hey, Jim. It's Matt from California.
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Parents came out here to visit me and the grandkids. They sold all you Texas tickets. I have a 2-part question for you gentlemen. Can you quickly talk about the momentum change? Or you dominated the first quarter. What happened in the second quarter? Was that better players, or was that a better strategy?
Turnovers.
On the coaching
well, the turnovers came later, though, Matty.
Come later, yeah.
They were in the second half. No, I'm telling you, Cale Gundy said it. Sarkisian made some adjustments on what OU was doing.
They made a couple of big plays. They had a couple of big plays on offense.
They had a couple of plays on offense, and then I think that the defensive side of the ball was just dominant. I mean, just unbelievably dominant.
The fumbles were in the second quarter.
They were.
Late in the set, but it was really late, though.
You answered my question.
Yeah, but okay, no problem.
So, Jim, last question. I'll take it off the air.
Okay.
I thought OU ran the ball better than we expected today. Given what we know about this team, we're weak on offense and stellar on defense. Can you describe our path to victory versus South Carolina? Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great night.
Well, you know what's interesting is that they did have a couple decent runs, but they ran for 2 yards a carry. They did have a couple of nights. I tell you, one of the reasons why they ran the ball better was because they weren't trying as much to run it up the middle. They were running outside, right?
They were going outside. And you got to get tight ends that can block, Jim, to seal things off.
Yeah, you're right. Path to victory. I mean, the defense is going to have to dominate this quarterback from South Carolina. I mean, you know, because I don't know if the offense is going to score a lot. You know, OU, if the other team scores 21 or 24 points, I think OU's in trouble. I do, Al. Is that bad?
No, I mean OU's like a 5.5 point favorite last week over South Carolina. So
that's about right. Beginning of the year, they probably were about a 13-point favorite.
Yeah, I mean,
so things have just
South
gone
Carolina
down.
is better than people thought.
Yep, and they got a defensive line, people. So we'll see if this line can block anybody. You want to see? I don't know how they're going to block them. I don't know how they'll do it. Just don't know how.
Well, you better be able to score on it. You better.
Do you feel good that they're going to score?
I don't feel good. I don't. But South Carolina is not Texas on defense.
I agree with you.
So
I don't disagree. I still don't have confidence that they're going to score a lot.
No, I don't either, Jim. I don't. They haven't any. They struggle against Temple on offense. They struggle against Houston on offense.
If I put the over-under at 20.5 for every game the rest of the year, I would take the over against Maine, and I'd probably take the under against everybody else. Is that unfair?
No, not right now. It isn't. No.
Unless they show me something different.
No.
Matt Meyer, would you take that? Would you take under 20.5 for every game except Maine?
Now, what they get into against Auburn?
Well, remember the defense scored a touchdown.
Yeah, but it could happen during the rest of the team.
Well, that's
yeah, right.
You're right. What they end up scoring?
I can't argue with that. I mean, they scored 27 against Auburn.
Right, and they had a touchdown. That was 20. They'd have been under.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, I just have no confidence, and unfortunately, I don't think they have confidence right now. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, that offensive meeting room. I don't know what you're doing. And like I said, I think Seth Luttrell should be gone at the end of the year, but I do give him credit. He tried today. He really did. They did some nice things at the beginning of the game. They just can't block anybody.
Nope.
If they had an offensive line, there were a couple of those misdirections where it was open, Al, but then this guy missed a block and this guy missed a block and it closed and they gained 3 yards. What can you do?
No, you
tell
can't.
me. You people out there that are obliterating Seth Luttrell today, tell me what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to hear it. When you can't block anybody, it's bad.
It's really bad.
And not to mention, Texas is really good.
Yeah, Texas one of the best defense teams in the country. And
they were number 3 coming in.
That's the only thing I'll say about this. People aren't going to want to hear this. I'm not sure they're going to play a team as good as Texas the rest of the year. Now,
I think you're right.
I'm not saying that should make Oklahoma fans feel good because they still have miles to go. I don't know that they're going to see anybody. I mean, Alabama's got a lot of good players. I know that, but
they're not Texas on defense.
No,
they're not even close.
Well, nobody left on the schedule is.
No, you're right. I agree with you. I think whoever wins.
Having said that, Oklahoma scored 16 points on Houston. So you know what I'm saying? I mean,
you're right. Unfortunately, I think this offense is maybe going downhill. But Texas is really good.
Yeah, they did. Because last week there was encouragement against
I shouldn't
Auburn.
have said that, Al. You're right. They're not going downhill.
So,
2 weeks ago.
Let's see what happens next week. It's kind of crazy, Jim, when you go, you're playing the 7th game of the year, and it's for survival.
That's not good.
No, not good at all.
No. At least they're 4-2. I mean, the interception for a touchdown, they could be 3-3.
You're right.
And then what about the field goal? Remember what game was that where there was a field goal missed? What happened? I can't remember. My head has it, but I can't remember it totally. Which one of the games earlier they could have almost lost? Houston, right? When they're field goal or something? Remind me, Matt, what happened?
Could have been. I'll go back.
I can't remember. I just remember a field goal.
Tulane?
Maybe it was Tulane. It might have been Tulane. But anyway, they could very easily be 3-3. And if they were 3-3, they'd be 0-3 in the league. And then it's just, then it's the house is falling down.
No doubt.
So at least they did win that Auburn game. I know we don't ever sit here in a post-game show and say things like, at least this, Al, right? We don't do that.
No.
At least that. Because it's the University of Oklahoma.
You should be in this position.
But that's where they are. That's the truth. I think the winner of this game that we're watching right now, Ohio State and Oregon, and Texas, are the 2 best teams in the country.
I agree. I totally agree right now because Alabama's not what they've been.
Right.
And I don't think Georgia is.
Yeah, unless Georgia walks into Austin next week.
And could change things next week.
Yeah,
So,
great throw by Dylan Gabriel. Wait till you see this play. All right, it's football feedback, Bud Light Game Time, driven by Eskridge Lexus, live in the Dobson Fiber Mobile Studios from State Fair of Texas. We're still going to take a bunch of calls. 405-900-9957. Oklahoma loses 34-3. We'll be back on the leader, and I mean huge leader in sports, the Sports Animal.
Carolina next Saturday, either at 11 or 11:45. Oklahoma State off today. The Cowboys 3-3, 0-3 in league play, and they will go to BYU this coming Friday at 9:15. Tulsa off today. The Golden Hurricane 2-4, 0-2 in conference play, and they are at Temple 1 o'clock on Saturday. Games going on right now. Second quarter. How about this? Florida leading number 8 Tennessee 3-0. Going into the second quarter, number 2 Ohio State leads number 3 Oregon 7-6. No score first quarter. Number 9 Ole Miss and number 13 LSU. First quarter, West Virginia leads number 11 Iowa State 7-0. A couple of games later on, number 18 K-State is at Colorado, and that's at 9:15. 10 o'clock, number 17 Boise is at Hawaii. Finals from earlier today, number 4 Penn State gets past Southern Cal 33-30 in overtime. Number 5 Georgia defeats Mississippi State 41-31. Number 7 Alabama beats South Carolina 27-25. Number 10 Clemson defeats Wake Forest 49-14. Number 11 Notre Dame hammers Stanford 49-7. Number 14 BYU beats up on Arizona 41-19. Number 21 Missouri defeats Massachusetts today 45-3.
Football feedback and Bud Light Game Time on the road. Sponsored by Bob Moore Kia, Crosslands A&A Rent All and Sales Company, the Car Crash Clinic of Dr. Martin Lopez, Powerlift Foundation.
Okay, impact player of the game here.
It's time for the Impact Player of the Game, sponsored by Dr. Martin Lopez. Big crashes have big impacts. Get the care you need from the Car Crash Clinic of Dr. Martin Lopez. Learn more at okccrash.com or call Dr. Lopez at 405-86-CRASH.
You guys are up.
What's up, Alex? Back to Traber, Texas. Kicks Oklahoma 34-3. Impact player. What did Oklahoma punt for today, Matt?
Let's just look at it. That's a question I don't normally get asked. Yeah. Luke Elzinga, 6 punts for an average of almost 48 yards per punt.
There's our impact player.
3 of those good. 6 were inside the 20, had a long of 63.
I think that's perfect.
Oklahoma's return, though, on special teams wasn't good. It was the punting was really good. They missed the field goal that you need to hit.
Yeah.
But
it's I like that. I think punt. I think that the punter is perfect for what we've been talking about.
Now let's get this straight now. Who kicked that first field goal?
It might have been my eyesight that messed me up, but do you have any idea? Look at the very first field goal, Matt, that OU missed. Who does it say missed it?
Keltner.
Okay. I looked at the numbers, my eyes from way up there. So it was him. He missed the first one, and then of course he came in and made.
You got to kick that. You got to put a little bit more pressure on Texas.
Oh, listen, you can't play as good as you played in the first quarter and come out of it 3-0.
No, you're right. Yeah,
can't do that against a better team.
That didn't have a first down.
17-point underdog. Yeah. By the way, Vegas lost a lot of money on this
sure
game.
Did.
You got killed. Got absolutely killed.
Let's get to the phones. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Is this me, guys?
Yep.
It's you.
Hey, 2 things. Number 1, Matt Meyer, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Matt, I don't know how much money you make, and that's not why I'm calling. I don't know your position there, but I just want to let you know that not off a few statements, but a loyal listener here, I just want to let you know that you're amazing, and I really like that you don't censor the things you say, and you don't care what people think. You say everything how it is, and I really respect that out of you. And
thank you. 2, checks in the mail.
Very nice.
And number 2, guys, I'm not trying to make anybody mad or anything, but when do we stop sugarcoating things here? I mean, Brett Venables could coach here. He could coach at the New England Patriots for 40 years, and he still wouldn't have what it takes to step on an elevator with someone that has what it takes to coach at the University of
Oklahoma. And wait a minute. Now, before you go away, why do you say that? What do you – so you think that OU is supposed to win 11 or 12 games every single year? Is that what you think? Step on an elevator? What are you talking about, man? You're living in a fantasy land.
I mean,
you're just upset because you got beat up by Texas. Brent Venables deserves to have if they keep going the way they are, he deserves to have another year. That's the way it is. If you want to keep firing coaches every couple years, your program's gonna fall apart, dude. Fall apart.
You turn into Auburn.
Yeah, is that what you want?
And he does have a really good recruiting class coming in.
Yeah, I mean, see, you people lose your minds, okay? I understand that y'all got embarrassed today. I understand that. You got killed. But to say that he shouldn't even be on an elevator with a coach that coaches at OU, that's just dumb. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a jerk, but that's the truth.
Connie Francis, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, so sorry. That's a good song. I agree with you.
Let's get back to the telephones. You're on the Animal. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, I just was wondering, is there any changes that could be made to the offensive line going into this next week?
Dude, I feel bad for you, man, but supposedly this is the best one.
Well, they changed it at halftime.
Well, they did. That's right. They did make a change. Didn't make a lot of difference,
changes,
but
yeah.
By the way, Ohio State scores make it 14-6.
They didn't throw the ball on the whole drive.
And they killed it down the with that first two plays were 75 yards between them. Look, unfortunately, this is what you have to deal with this year. I mean, what else, right now? What else can we say? I don't know what to say.
It's here down the end though. The people that lineup in the first half was terrible. I mean,
but that was supposed to be the one, right? They're healthy. This is the line they wanted. They're finally back. They're just not any good.
They're not any
They got
good.
somebody messaged me right here. By the way, it was my Thunder guy, and he's a big OU guy too. But let me read this message to you real quick because he's obviously a very solid listener. This is what he said. He said, the line might not be much better next year. Sexton is a junior. Tarquin is a senior. Hickman is a junior. Nwayu is a junior. And Jake Taylor is a redshirt sophomore. If those guys were good, we'd know what they are. And this is what I said to him. I'd say get rid of them. Start new. They stink.
Yeah, they're bringing they're bringing guys from the portal.
And one of those freshmen.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, there's true freshmen playing all over the place.
Absolutely.
They got two of the best. Are they both 5 stars or 5 and 4?
I think one might be a high 4. The other's a
okay,
5.
so you're bringing in two of the best offensive tackles in the country. Figure out which one is the best and put them at the tackle. Let them learn a little bit against the beginning of your schedule. Right, Al?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. There might be one dude on this line that should be playing for them next year.
Yeah. I mean,
so you got to go totally new.
You got to.
And the tight ends, I mean, they can't block anybody. Who's in there? Don't they have a redshirt freshman tight end that's supposed to be good?
He was like the number 1 tight end in the country a year ago.
What's his name?
Mitchell.
Okay, well,
but he'd be a senior in high school now.
Okay. Well, then next year, fire him out there.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to start anew. If they're running the same people out there next year, fellas, Brent Venables is losing his job. I mean, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, and you and I both love Brent, but if they go out with his same, they're not going to block people next year with these guys either. It's not changing. I'm sorry. I hate to be a jerk, but I don't see it changing now. I really don't.
No, they got to get in, and through the portal you can get. Like I said, they brought in Roush and Guyton last year.
Yeah.
They're both in the NFL now.
Absolutely. You know what they need to do, Al? The most important position on the field is center for offensive line. Go out and get the best center in the entire portal. Give him some money.
Yeah.
Give him some money. Say, come here, be our starting center. And then build around him. Look at that. Oregon, big play down the field.
Gabriel, great. Look at this.
Yeah. Isn't it nice to see him throw the ball down the field?
Isn't it nice to see Dylan Gabriel play?
Dylan Gabriel's really good, Al. We all know he's good. Very good.
A year ago, it was a different story down here, right? Because of Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, that fourth quarter he played was impressive. And by the way, it wasn't really with his arm, it was with his feet.
Yeah.
He made some unbelievable runs in that fourth quarter.
Let us get to the telephone. You're on the Animal. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there was a play in the second quarter that I thought was a very critical play, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Texas had the ball in there, maybe they're 20 or 25, 3rd and 6, and number 8, which I think might be Vickers, was put in a cornerback, and he dropped back about 10 or 12 yards. Our defensive end forward, number 30, rushed in. There was this huge gap, and they completed like a 50-yard pass. It was a critical point.
That was the momentum changer right there.
That's a blitz. Remember
That's right.
They
blitzed forward, and you
forward.
saw it, and he threw it right to where, or right in the area, not right to where.
That
you're
changed.
exactly right.
You're right. Changed all the momentum.
Caller, you're right on the money, caller. That was a massive play. Couldn't agree with you more. And like we said, you played a nice first quarter.
And they were playing great defense up to that play.
Yep.
Up to that play. That's the first. Was that the first down they got, Matt? On that play?
They didn't have any first downs in the first quarter.
It might have been.
Yeah. You're right. Now, Vickers is a brand new player, so, I'll tell you what, they played a lot of youngsters on defense. I mean, a bunch.
That was their first down because they went 3 plays and pick, 3 and punt, 3 and punt. Then the next drive after the OU field goal, it was the third play of the drive, 3rd and 5 at the Texas 30-yard line. Second play of the second quarter, the 26-yard pass to Moore.
Yeah, no, the caller's right on the money. That was the big turnaround, really big turnaround, and then it just went downhill,
real rapidly.
Yeah, and I'll tell you another thing too. You know me, Al. I believe in the mental aspect of the game immensely. I think after a while the defense just goes, "Oh my gosh, what can we do?"
Get worn out.
Our offense stinks.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that happens, people, on both sides of the ball. When your offense stinks, when the defense stinks, the other side's looking at it going, "Man,
we stink."
Yeah, what are we going to do? We're going to hold them to nothing? Because remember, the only way OU was going to win today if they held them to 0.
Yeah.
Think about that, Al.
Yeah, that's the only way. You have to pick the shutout to beat them.
Yep. No, you're right.
So, touchdown Oregon, Dylan Gabriel.
Yep, going to tie the game up. This is a good one. This is a good game. Or try to tie it up. Yeah, they'll probably go for 2. But, it's a good game. Very good game.
Let's get back to the phones. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Yeah, my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my turn.
Yep.
Hey, guys, tell me why did we get out of the 2-back set? We're not going to go downfield. Keep as much protection as we can.
Yeah, I mean, they did some nice things early in the 2-back set. I don't disagree with you. If you can't block people, you might as well have other people in there to help. I mean, I don't know. We can sit around here and beat things up to death, but they got big problems. They really do. And like I said, if you're just joining us, I've been very, very critical of Seth Luttrell, but I believe that he tried today, Al. You know what?
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, he did some. Wasn't running the ball up the middle.
No.
So
early, I thought they did some decent things, but they're just
offensive line just can't block.
No, they can't block anybody. I'd love to see these people that are going crazy. Come in and call plays. What are you going to do?
And on the other hand, we really need to give Texas credit.
Of course we do.
Their defense is big time.
Yeah, they're good.
It is big. That Hill kid.
Oh, Hill is unbelievable. Yeah, the plays that he was making out there, he's unbelievable.
He's a superstar.
Yeah, he is. Well, he's a top 15 pick. I mean, he's I don't know how high he's going to go. Well, think about it. Their offensive tackle is going to be one of the first 5 players in the draft. Hill's going to be one of the top first 15. Where's OU's first guy going to go? I know they got some players, but where are they going to go? Now, a couple years from now, maybe they'll have some bigger high ones.
One mock I saw Stutzman in the first round.
But not in the top 5 or 15, right? He was near the bottom.
None of those guys.
Yeah.
None.
Yep. So, got to get better players. Got to get a better offensive coordinator.
And your 5-star players got to become 5-star players.
Yep.
Adebawari. Do we even see him today?
I don't even. Al, I think probably it's time to give up on him.
No, he's only a sophomore, Jim. He's been hurt this year, too.
Oh, I didn't know he was hurt. Okay. Well, if he was hurt, then I'll give him some credit. You got to, your quarterback was a 5-star guy. Oh, I know.
So you need, but
he's not going to play. He's not going to play anymore here unless there's an injury.
No, yeah, you're right.
And then I'm sure he's going in the portal.
I would think if he doesn't play next week, my guess informs him that he's going to redshirt.
Yeah. By the way, I got a message from somebody who said, "Look, I don't want to ask a stupid question, but can you move a defensive line to the offensive lineman?" the answer to that is yes, if they've played a little bit of offensive line maybe in high school and know what it's like. They're two different positions.
Frank Romero got moved.
Romero did a really nice
there
job.
been other people. Davin Joseph moved.
Jamal Brown.
Jamal Brown moved.
Yeah, but they have to be guys that played it in high school.
But usually
normally.
you go two ways, lineman. Don't you?
That's right. Most of them do in high school go both ways.
Well, I mean, Frankie was a tight end, but yes. I mean,
that's right. Frank Romero was a tight end, yeah. He's a more
he was a defensive end. He played defensive end.
And tight end in high school.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah, in high school. Yeah.
Right. So at least he knew how to block.
But at OU, he started out as a defensive end. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. The other guys we talked about, Lane Johnson was a tight end. And then
Lane Johnson originally was a quarterback.
Yeah.
And now he's one of the best right tackles in football.
So
break when you're ready.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. It's Football Feedback, Bud Light Game Time, driven by Eskridge Lexus. We're live in the Dobson Fiber Mobile Studios here from the State Fair of Texas. Obviously, the OU fans are not very happy. Texas fans very happy. And they got a big one next week with Georgia. And OU tries to salvage. That's all they can do is try to salvage with a game next week that we never thought would be this big. But it is. We'll keep you updated. Ohio State up 14-12 on Oregon. Good ball game. We'll be back on the Leader in Sports, the Sports Animal, the SportsAnimal.com, and the Sports Animal app.
Innate Shooting Sports, Air Comfort Solutions, Oklahoma Port Council, Cannon and Associates, David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. The hardest working player of the game. Sponsored by Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance. From livestock to equipment, they have you covered. Visit okfbinsurance.com to find an agent near you.
Hey, you're up.
And we're back. Myself, Al Eschbach, along with Jim Traber. Oklahoma gets kicked by Texas 34-3 today. Hardest working player of the game. That's really, really easy. And once again, we give the award to Luke Nzinga, OU punter.
Yeah.
So he really worked hard today. OU's punting. How about Tennessee?
Yeah, you brought it up. You know, the Nico kid, who obviously is very, very talented. 5-star. He's got 89 yards in the first half. He's done nothing. They're losing 3-0 at half. They haven't scored a point. So these kids, these young kids, man, it's not as easy as you think. You know?
No, it isn't as easy as you think, and it's just you just don't know what you're going to get, man. That would be an absolute horrific loss to Tennessee with Alabama coming in there next week.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Tennessee, that means that would be their third loss.
If they lose tonight, they're gone. I mean,
more than likely, yeah. Yep.
So, boy,
I can't wait at the end of the year to see people's what their daggone records are. There's going to be a lot of crazy looking records.
No,
you know what I'm
you're
saying?
right. And
BYU 11-1. I mean, you know what? Look at some of the things that we're going to be seeing. Crazy.
It is absolutely insane. But Oregon up 15-14 over Ohio State. Dylan Gabriel having a monster game thus far. And you said someone got kicked out. Someone got kicked out, Matt. What?
That number one, that really good wide receiver. Looked like
I haven't seen that.
Well, there was an unsportsmanlike conduct against Oregon, and they got pushed back. And then I saw him walking up the deal, and he threw his helmet and was disgusted. He was all mad. I think they threw him out of the game. He's their big-time receiver, number one. What's his name? Simmons or Simpson? Or I can't remember his name, but he's really good.
Stewart is number 7. He's got 5 catches for 124 and a score.
Here it is. The Oregon wide receiver spit on the Ohio State defensive back.
Oh, Trayshawn Holden.
Yeah, they kicked him out of the game. He's gone. That's smart, huh?
Really?
Boy, if you're a coach, what do you do with that?
I mean, that is just...
By the way, Bob Prezilla tweeted this. OU tight end Bauer Sharp was asked what was the message from co-offensive coordinator Seth Luttrell following the game, and he said, quote, he didn't talk. What is that? He didn't talk to his offense?
That's not good.
What the heck is that?
Not good at all.
I'm not going to try to look into that. I'll just shut up and we can move on. That just seems weird.
Well, I wonder if just Brent just talks to the team after the game.
Maybe.
Probably. That would be my guess.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. It's the defensive players have got to be getting really, really frustrated.
No doubt about it.
They're working their tails off. They're trying, and then they look at that over there, and it's just not good. Not good.
Let's get back to phones. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hello? Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, I love you guys. For the long-time listener, I just want to say that hypothetically, okay, if the season continues to go this way offensively, Seth Luttrell's on the hot seat. And if Seth Luttrell doesn't leave after this season, does the hot seat switch to Brent Venables?
Yes. It's very simple. I think Al and I both agree, and you tell me, Al, if you think I'm wrong, but Seth Luttrell's going to have to do a whole bunch to keep his job.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then at the end of the year, it's going to be really, really important what Brent Venables does with that position. And then next year, Brent Venables' jobs will be on the line.
Yeah.
You agree?
This is one of the worst offenses in the country. Think of it. It was coming to next to last.
Kent State was the only one in the country.
Yeah. So
and I don't know if they did anything today to move him up. I don't know how they could. 2 yards a carry.
I mean, yeah,
it's not good. Yeah, not good. So, but the answer is yes and yes. So, yeah, I mean, Brent, listen, this is a big league program. You got to do better than they're doing. It's that simple.
And again, next year their schedule isn't going to do.
Well, it's the exact same one.
Plus
Only
Michigan.
opposite.
Plus
Michigan. Yeah, so that's they don't play Maine though, right?
Their non-conference is Temple. Matt, who else they play next year? Michigan, Temple, Michigan.
Are they at Temple, I guess?
They're
Philadelphia?
at Temple. They're at Temple.
That'd be a nice trip for the OU
Yeah.
fans.
Michigan.
So, Temple, Michigan. Who else? Tulsa?
Are they playing Tulsa?
Maddie's looking it up right now.
Look at Ohio State. They have Howard doing all
Illinois
kinds of
State,
shit.
Michigan, and Temple is all I see.
Illinois State, Michigan, and Temple. There's
Okay.
got to be one more, obviously, so we don't know where that would be. Late in the season, maybe? Or you just don't see it?
I don't see it.
Okay. You see that slant route that they just ran?
And that's what they're doing. I haven't seen Howard go downfield. They're just doing quick stuff.
Well, and if it works, it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Good.
I think it's Kent State.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So it'll be the battle of the worst offenses in the country. That should be fun.
Kent State and OU.
Jeez.
Beautiful.
It's terrible.
Yeah, and the dates are already. It looks like to me the dates are set for the non-conference games.
What's the
Michigan's
late
second game of the season?
Illinois State is August the 30th. The following week, Michigan. The following week at Temple, and then October the 4th, they have Kent State here.
October the 4th? That's the weekend before the OU Texas?
Yep.
That is
Unless they
so
move it.
weird.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not saying you're wrong, Maddie. I'm just saying that's really weird.
Well, the off week didn't do many good this year.
Good point. Good point.
Let's get back to the phones. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
No, dang this game.
Yeah, go ahead.
The London game, 8:30.
Nope, not 8:30. You're talking. Go ahead. Yeah, it's you. Go ahead.
Hey, you guys are throwing, and I totally agree, throwing Seth Luttrell under the wagon, under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
If Bill Bedenbaugh is supposed to be the guru of offensive coordinators or offensive linemen, like Lincoln Riley kind of was,
right?
Offensive coordinators. How is he not coaching up these guys to be better than what they are?
I mean, it's a solid point. I think the reason why we don't obliterate Bedenbaugh is because he's got cachet. In other words, he showed that he's a really good offensive line coach. Seth Luttrell hasn't shown anything as an offensive coordinator to us, at least. So, right?
Regardless, one of the best in the country.
Right, exactly. But I am a little concerned that
But this year he's not done a good. I mean, you can't say he's done a great job.
No, and I think at the beginning of the year he told some people and said that he thought, "Don't worry, we're going to be better than people think," and
absolutely.
they're worse than we thought. So that's a little bothersome. We just look. You can't just rip the entire coaching staff. All right, there are Al, you talk about it. There are players on the field too, right, Al? Sometimes you got to make some plays, right?
Absolutely, yes. You have to make some plays. You have to make plays.
I got a stat that's going to blow you away. Are you ready, Maddie? Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Oklahoma has yet to throw for over 200 yards in a game this season.
Yeah.
Fellas, that is. When's the last? You got to probably go back to the wishbone. John Blake's quarterback threw for 200 yards.
No, they didn't.
No,
they didn't.
Did Eric Moore throw for 200 yards one game? Oh, that was Schnellenberger, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if.
Well, Eric was there. He crossed over. He played for both.
So were there 7 games in a row where no one threw for 200 yards back then? I don't really remember.
It's possible. It is definitely possible.
Anyway, we're talking about 25, 26, 27 years, so something like that.
Well, the mere fact that we're having to look back and think about John Blake's time here,
yeah,
I mean,
shows
all
you.
due respect, but I mean that tells you where they're at offensively.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah,
not one person
it's
for
horrible.
200 yards.
Horrible.
Golly.
Back to the phone. You're on the animal.
Hey guys, what's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, Jim, you got to come by the Springs tomorrow.
You know, I can't, man. I got to go home. I'm really upset. I may come down on that off weekend in the beginning of November when both OU and OSU don't play. I think I'm going to come down then. I wanted to. I just can't make it, man. I just love it there too.
Okay, yeah. I live over here in the Colony, and it is awesome.
Oh, I know it. How can you beat it, man? It's so good. I love it.
Hey, you guys answered my question about Venables. I was going to ask if he was on the hot seat next year, but you guys both agreed. Hey, I know you like to go to Vegas. I'm going next week.
Okay.
You want some free money?
What would that be?
So the Mavs are 49.5 over under. You take the over. guaranteed winner.
Now you're a big
Right now.
Mavs fan, though. That doesn't help me.
Yes.
I mean that'd be like me. That'd be more like telling you I think the Steelers are going to win. Come on, man. Listen. I like what what bothers me about your Mavs is losing Jones, man. He's one of the best. He's one of the best defensive players in the league.
A great role player.
So you bring in Klay Thompson, who's 300 years old, and you bring him. That bothers me a little bit about your squad, but I like him. I mean, what they did last year in the playoffs was good.
Hey, Najee Marshall's a beast.
All right.
Ready to pick up.
All right, my man. Call. We'll talk during the year, okay? See you, bud. You're a big Mavs fan. Good guy.
Obviously. What was the total for Mavs?
49.5.
Okay.
I don't know. All the totals seem low to me. I don't know. They're crazy low.
57 for the Thunder?
No, it was lower than that.
No, it's 57.
I thought it went down.
No, it was 57.
Okay. Well, that's what they won last year.
Yeah, so
I wonder how many they'll win. I don't know.
I mean, the Celtics was like 59, the Thunder was second at like 57.
Okay. Would you go there?
I wouldn't touch it.
I wouldn't touch it either. Seems like that's about right. They are going to have a little bit of a growing pain, you would think, right? With some new players and stuff.
You would think, but again, they're supposed to be better.
Good point. And they're going to be better with those guys.
And you think that, J-Dub and Chet are going to be better.
Yep. Good point. If J-Dub keeps getting better, he's going to be a daggone all-star soon. Guy's unbelievable.
Let's get back to the telephones. You're up on the animal.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Talk.
Hey, man, I think Venables is another Greg Gibbs. What do you think?
Thanks for the call. I mean, he could be. I mean, he's a defensive coordinator, Al. So.
There's so much uncertainty about the Oklahoma program right now that we've seen. The offense being this bad is just it's. Think of it. People were talking about Iowa a year ago, how bad it was.
And look what they did.
Yeah,
they scored 30 points today, and they've been scoring more points.
Yeah.
They went out and got a quarterback and an offensive coordinator.
Coach's son.
That's exactly right. And, I mean, here's a question for you, Al. You put a truth serum in Brent Venables, and you say, Brent, do you think you made a mistake by just, getting Luttrell? He would say yes right now, would he not?
Here's the question. Yeah, is Brent going to blame himself, or is he going to blame somebody else? Going to blame somebody else.
Well, but he
made a decision. That's why he's going to say, I'm the head coach.
That's right.
And why are we bad? It's because the offense.
That's right.
Right?
Right. He's good at taking blame for the most part.
No doubt he is.
Now, he has thrown a couple people under the bus, but you know what? Gundy did it too. I think these coaches nowadays, with all the money that's involved and everything.
I like it. These kids are making money. They don't play well. Boom. Say it.
Al, you're talking to someone, you're preaching to the choir, man. I do think that these guys who make money now, they should be,
Absolutely.
I'm with you 100%.
And the offensive coordinator made a lot of money too.
You're right. A lot of money. Yeah, it's I don't know what they're going to do. I said the same thing this past week. I just don't know what they're going to do.
They got to come in and get an identity. They have no identity.
Well, what is it going to be?
I mean, I don't know. I had no idea when they brought Lincoln Riley in what it was going to be. Right?
Right.
But that's why I got rid of Heupel. Bob said there was no identity on offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
this offense just flat out terrible.
And you're right. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're going to do. What are they good at? Here's my question for you. What is OU's offense good at?
It should be good at the quarterback run game. It should be really
well,
good.
He's a really good runner. There's no doubt about that. But it's not that good. It's not like he's breaking 10 and 12-yard runs.
Last week he did.
Yeah, he broke that big against Auburn, he broke that big long one. But listen, though. What Texas did today, they were putting a spy on him, and they had another guy, too.
They're not going to play people like Texas the rest of the year.
Yeah, well South Carolina spy.
That's the key.
Go ahead.
That's the key, because you're right. They're not going to play defenses, I don't think anyway, as good as Texas the rest of the year. So what does that mean? It means they have to look better on offense.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting them to go out and score 40 a game. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to look better than what you did today.
Absolutely.
Buddy of mine said he said, I said, what are they good on offense? He said punting. Yeah, they're good on punting. We agree. But we're talking about on offense. What are they good at? Yeah, what are they good at? Okay. We'll get one more quick call.
Okay. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, go ahead.
You're on the animal.
All right, you've been to Muskogee before?
To Muskogee?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm an Okie from Muskogee.
Yeah, I've been to Muskogee, yes.
You can tell by the accent.
Yeah.
Well,
They don't smoke marijuana in Muskogee.
There we
go. They do a lot of crack, though, in Muskogee. They are meth freaks in Muskogee. I'm an Okie from Muskogee.
Okay, now what was he saying? What are you saying real quick? Go ahead. What do you got?
There's a blind school in Muskogee on 2nd Street.
Right. We got to get another call. That's terrible.
Okay, go ahead. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. I got a quick observation. First of all, in the beginning of the game, did either of you two notice a coaching decision job that affected that kicker on that field goal try?
Which you mean OU's kicker?
Yeah, on OU's kicker. Did you see how long it took for them to send the kicking team out on the field?
Yeah, he was trying to decide whether he was going to go for it or not, and it took a long time, and it looked like they were a little bit rushed. Yeah. Good point.
Did you think that was a coaching decision?
Well, it's definitely a coaching decision. Yeah. Listen, Brent Venables at times when he's had to make big decisions, they haven't been the best of, and sometimes they've been a little slow. I automate right now. We talked about that before, but unfortunately, because this game was so ugly, that play meant nothing. Because, I mean, if they lose 34-6, although maybe they had a little momentum, we'll see. The momentum play is the one the caller brought up, and Matt said.
And I'm going to my final thoughts.
Yeah,
here.
final thoughts, Al.
You look at what Sarkisian's done at Texas. Look at what Brent's done at Oklahoma.
Same time, right? Came in the same time.
No,
Sarkis one more before
a
year.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So,
you know what I'll say to you?
Sarkis' first year wasn't real good. Second year,
A little better.
they got the playoffs. Or was that his third year?
That was his third
Matt?
year. Third year.
Okay, third year. So,
The
yeah, a
third
little
year.
bit better. So let's see what
Brent does. Yeah.
what Brent does. I mean, let's see what Brent. I think because Sark struggled big time.
Let me tell you one thing that worries me. Okay, and I want you to comment on this, and then we'll get out of here. And Maddie, you can comment as well. Every single time out that we've come down to this Cotton Bowl, and you and I have done our show, one of the things we've always talked about is that OU is the more physical team. They were not the most physical team today.
No, it's because the offensive line stinks.
That's one of the reasons. But I think that Texas.
I mean, last year, OU was more physical. Than
Right,
Texas.
but Texas is getting more physical.
They get
Would
better
you
players.
agree? Right, they're getting better players,
Yeah.
but they're also getting a little bit more physical.
They're getting more physical. And I don't know. I think OU this year's pretty physical on defense.
Yeah, not on offense at all.
Not on offense. They
No.
stink on offense. So now you got a game next week that you pencil in as a win before the season, and now it's going to be tough with South Carolina. The game they lost today is going to be. We'll see how they rebound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Going on the road.
And I'm telling you what, people, we'll talk about it all week, but they got some players on defense.
Yep.
So,
But you got to
be
score.
ready.
People have scored on South Carolina this year.
Yeah. Well,
So-
did they have this offensive line though?
But I mean, is South Carolina better than Auburn on defense?
Up front, they are.
Okay.
But not all the way around.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Al, they got there are four people up front. Three of them are going to play in the NFL. One of them's going to be a first-round pick. So.
Oh, I watched them today. They were really good. I mean, They killed Jalen Milroe today.
And by the way,
and that quarterback's really good.
They totally shut down Kentucky. Not that they're some great offensive team, but they did it at Kentucky. So we'll talk about it all week, though.
Absolutely.
Great job, Al. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for letting me sit with you. Al Eschbach, ladies and gentlemen, the legend of radio, over 48 years and going strong. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a tough day if you're a Sooner fan. I hope that we helped you a little bit, get some things off your chest. We will both be back on Monday, me at 2, Al at 4, and we will be talking about all the great things that are happening and the bad things as well. Thank you so much to Cisco, our program director. What a weekend it's been for him. He's been running like a crazy man. And Josh Lupton did a great job, too. Unbelievable job setting up over at my show yesterday and down here at the State Fair of Texas. And, of course, Matt Meyer all day. It's nice for Matt Meyer when he only has one game, isn't it, Matt, instead of two all day?
Not only that, it's nice to kick this thing off at 2:30 instead of 11 o'clock.
That's right, because you don't have to be here at 6 in the morning.
That's right. That's right.
Now, what do we got coming up, Matty?
Well, we've got a lot of post-game reactions. So what they do down at the Oklahoma-Texas game is the head coach and some of the players will have kind of a sit-down press conference style setting, and then members of the media can still talk to some other people individually. So the first thing we're going to hear is Brent Venables, Michael Hawkins, Danny Stutzman, and Billy Bowman. They sat down in the post-game press conference, and we've got plenty of other audio after that. We'll hear from Seth Luttrell, some of the players as well. So we've got a lot coming up on the College Locker Room Show.
All right, and Matty will keep you updated on the scores. By the way, Ohio State scored. It's now 21-15.
This is a good one, man.
It is a great one. You're right. Yeah. These are two really good teams. Their defenses are getting lit, but I think that's because the offenses are so good.
It's more so offense.
Yeah, these guys, good stuff. All right, people, thank you so much for listening to the Sports Animal. A lot more coming up. Keep it right here. 34-3 final score, Texas, and I'll talk to you on Monday. See ya.